everyone, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2014. I'm all hyped up on some Red Bull, and I'm ready to go. So let's just jump in and start right where we left off. I like car sounds. They're nice. So, last time we had an introduction to this game, and got the basics down, and the last RO we had, which is this one right here, looked like an interesting one. Shifting gears is much harder than it should be. There is probably something wrong with the clutch. Very informed, intuitive customers. So we have to perform a test drive and replace the damaged parts. So, we'll go right over here and start with our test drive. Yes, I'd like to drive to the test track. I forgot how to drive. Oh, yep, that's right. Okay, I remember now. Good old WADS. WASD. AWSD. One of those. Oh, not there. Oh. Luckily they don't deduct points. Oh, overshot it. Oh well, still counts. Now the slalom. Ooh, a little hot into that one. Oops, hit a cone. It's the problem with autocrossing you get. If you start off track with the slalom, it's hard to get back. Alright, let's finish up this test drive and see what's wrong with this car. Ooh, way overshot it there. Ugh. I can tell you, the brakes in this are not very good. Very slow response brakes. Okay, let's see what's up here. Now, let's see, they said transmission. Let's see if we can... Last time the test drive gave us some pointers, so let's show the part's condition and hide the body. The concern was about the clutch, and considering the clutch is inside the gearbox or transmission, we're not going to be able to see it like this. So, let's show the body again, and quit. Oh. Show the body again. There we go. Now, oh, something wrong button. Open the hood. Now, here's the gearbox. Inside, in between, is the flywheel, pressure plate, and clutch. So, we're going to have to take the transmission out to get to it. That's not something we're going to do from the top. So, we'll start here, pop our wheels off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I really wish working on cars was in real life was this easy. It would certainly make my job a lot easier. Pop these pads off. Getting pretty, oh, not that. Not, yeah, there we go. There you go. Good job. Getting pretty proficient at this. Now, at this point, if you see the axle goes into the transmission. So to remove the transmission, that's got to come out. So, to do that, click on it, and then it reveals the axle bolt at the end of the shaft, which will remove, and it removes the axle. So we're done with this side. Let's escape. There's so many different ways to back out of menus in this game, it's hard to remember which one's which. So pop these off. I'm not doing the star pattern because it doesn't really matter. Oops, didn't finish that one up. Alright. Oop. Yeah, this is all pretty familiar for me, as I said, I am an automotive technician by day, and online automotive technician by night, now apparently. Okay. Now I think we're gonna have to go. I wonder if we can do it from the bottom. That's how I would do it. It's a little sketchy having the front end on scissors jacks while the wheels are off. Not sure it's the best way to do it, but it's the best to keep stuff out of the way. Can we go from the bottom here? No. No. That's all we can do. So, we're gonna have to go from the top, which, not the best idea for removing a transmission. Not the best idea at all. Looks a lot like a like a Ford with this half triangle, not half triangle, they're triangles. A little triangle and square type design in the front. Yeah, it does have a lot of look like a Focus, perhaps. Alright, let's open this hood and get this transmission out. I gotta get... Oh, where's my mouse? There it is. I gotta get in here. Nope, not you. Down here to the gearbox. What am I missing? Oh, I bet we gotta take the starter off. Yep. Whoops. Well, it happens. I should have known that. You have to take them off in the transmissions I work on. Okay. Looks like we've got 5 bolts. Yep. And then that comes off. Okay. Now we're working. Now let's look here. Okay, first you have to take your clutch release bearing out. Then the pressure plate. A few bolts here. This acts as the springing motion that allows the clutch to engage and disengage itself from the flywheel. Now you see the condition on the left is 15%, so we're gonna have to remove that. Nice. Okay, now we need to go buy another one. How much were we getting? I think it was 1,000. 1,000 US dollars. Yes. So we'll go over here. Part shop. Now we need a clutch friction plate. $500. We'll make a lot of money off of this. Alright, let's close this. Back out of here. Back inside. It always disappears, my mouse. Or, is that the right word? Disappears. Okay, now I need to go to assembly mode. Then we'll put the clutch back in. Now the pressure plate. And some bolts. I think this would be a good place to talk about work and work-related issues. As I said, I'm a Volkswagen technician. However, pretty soon I will be... Oh, buddy. 10%. We need a clutch release bearing, too. Good thing I caught that. Didn't want to install that. Well, we're not going to make as much money as I thought we would. Let's see... $100, $600, it's not bad. $400, job well done. Oh, no, I don't want to escape. It has this weird effect to when you start moving and walking, it blurs everything, or maybe it just seems like that to me. If you see it, looking, I don't know, mention it in the comments or something. It bothers me a little, but alright, I'll put this gearbox back on. Screw some bolts in. Yeah, as I said, I'm a Volkswagen technician. Moving across the street to... I work at a family of dealerships, and we have a Volkswagen... Can I? I can't install that yet. I have to be on the side. We have a mini dealership that I'll be moving across the street to soon. I'm excited about that. Minis are fun. As I said, I do autocrossing, and the Mini's a really fun car to do autocrossing in. So it's one of those I'll work on the cars that I would like to drive type situations, which is good. Volkswagen's been fun, and I enjoy it. It's very, very challenging. A lot of things on Volkswagens, you fix it without knowing how you fixed it. One of the common things is a cap disc, or a capacitive discharge, which is where you remove the battery and put something between the two terminals that runs the capacitors out, and somehow that will fix a lot of problems. No explanation as to why. I've had parts where you're doing electrical testing on it, so you remove the connector and back probe the pins, and the electrical connections seem fine, but it doesn't work. So in frustration, you plug it back in, and then for some reason it will work. So it's definitely fun. Alright, I think we're done with this job. Perfect timing. Let's check our RO. We test drove and we replaced the damaged parts. Shifting gears is much harder. Repaired. Car is incomplete. Oh, you know what we forgot? The thing that we didn't notice in the first place. Old starter back here in the back. It's weird that they have it in the back. Normally it's in the front on the intake side. That's what's throwing me off. You know, normally I wouldn't make a mistake like that. Alright, let's try this again. And repaired. Yes. Next order. Loading. Loading. Okay, next RO's in. I replaced the battery 4 days ago, but today I wasn't able to start my car again. Check what's wrong with it, please. Replace car battery and check alternator. Okay, so first we're gonna raise the hood, inspect inside, we're gonna remove the battery, because that clearly needs to be replaced. Now we want to look at the alternator. Where's our examine conditions? So I can't, that's weird. Alright, hang on. Let's go removal mode. There we go. That's a weird series of buttons. Okay, remove the belt for the alternator, and then click the wrong button again. I don't want to remove it. I want to examine its... Alright, well, I guess we'll do it this way. Now let's check... Wrong button. Check our inventory. Okay, the alternator is 5%. So, we're going to want to sell this. Click. We're going to want to sell that. Their battery's bad, so we know we need a battery. Now, I wonder if we can repair the alternator. How much should we make it for this info? Another $1,000. Okay. Now, we're going to check the alternator. Oh, we can! For $235. Let's go ahead and do that. $235. Let's see what it would have been if we bought one. If we had gone used... The alternator... You can't buy a used alternator. Okay. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had a weird moment with the game there. Okay, so we were looking at the alternator, and that would have cost us $500 if we had bought it, but we repaired it, so we'll put that back on the car. Oh, we need to buy a battery. I almost forgot. Okay. Battery's $350. So we'll make about $500 off of this one. Back to the car. Right, so right click, go back to reassembly mode. Pop the alternator back on, freshly repaired. Now the serpentine belt for this. And last but not least, the battery. Oops. So we'll pop it over there. There we go. 100%. Now this should be good for this one. Let's see. It says we did that. Yes, next RO. Let's see what's going on with the next one. Volume adjustment. Hello. My car has become really loud. My muffler is probably damaged. Man, these are some smart customers. I wish ours came in. Our customers would say, my car's loud. And that would be it. Okay, so we're going to examine the exhaust system here. Go to the underside. Now, what are we working with here? Let's do our examining. 23%. 74, that one's pretty good. 3%. Alright, so their two mufflers are bad. Long pipe's good. But the cat's good. Exhaust in front's good. Exhaust manifold, okay. I already checked that. No, I didn't. I can't check it from here. Alright, we'll assume the exhaust manifold's good. So we're going to back up some. We're going to need to take that off. Start with this. Go to removal mode. Oh. Gonna get these teeny bolts up here. Nice. We're gonna have to move this to get to the forward exhaust muffler. Man, I wish working on cars was this easy. It's never this easy. Alright, so that's all we needed. Let's back out and see what we can get those for. We are charging the customer $900. Seems fair. We will check for car parts. Now we need the... What's that? Catalytic converter. Muffler middle, muffler rear. Totaling $600. We charge $9. We'll make $300 off of it. That's not bad. I'll take that. Take that all day. Back to the rear of the car. Back to reassembly mode. Yes. The good one. Muffler middle. Install these bolts. Some people were joking and said there should be a mode in this game to where the bolts fall out and you spend 10 minutes searching the shop floor for them, or they get cross-threaded and you fight that for an hour and a half, which is pretty much how it goes in a real shop. You tend to drop bolts, and the floors we have at work just got redone. Now they're a painted green color. Should be it for this car. They're a painted, not green, painted gray color. Not really like this floor. This is sort of what the old floor used to look like. It was about like this here, just random dirtiness. And if you dropped a small screw or something, you would never find it. It could be right in front of you. You just have to walk around kicking and try and pick it up. But it was never ever good. So we've got new, nice gray ones. So if you drop something, it's pretty easy to find. All right, let's check our RO here. Repair exhaust done. Repaired. Proceed to next RO. I'm curious to see what some of these jobs are going to be like. I mean, the transmission was fun. I don't know how deep these are going to go, or... The steering feels loose. Could you check it? I certainly can. It wants us to do a test drive, so we'll head back out to the test track. Not quite as eventful as other test tracks, but let's see if I can get this right and not screw up. Maybe brake in the right spot. Oh, almost screwed up there. I hit a cone. I heard it. Side to side. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. What? I was just looking at the radio in the car, and it's very much like the cars I work on a daily basis. Almost down to specifics. Alright. Yeah, got a nice slalom here. Full throttle. Whoa! Screwed it up. Close enough. Don't worry about that sound. That's the steering. That's not a cone being run over. Bump, 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 bump. Through the checkpoint. And across the line. Twice. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. Steering. So we're going to look at tie rods. If it's making noise, might look at some suspension components. Alright, let's hide the body and show parts wear. Ah! Well, that answers that. It looks like the rack is bad. Let's see if we can get it from underneath. We can. Wait, we can remove the rack from underneath, but we can't take... It's a little aggravating. Can't do everything from one spot. Let's get rid of this thing here. Is that C? No, it's not. Okay. So, we don't need to take the tire off. We just need to get... Oh, yeah, we do. Oops. So get the outer tire rod off. It's definitely much easier with the wheel off. Now, we don't have to take the brakes and stuff off. Outer tie rod, remove. Inner tie rod, remove. Now we go to the other side of the car. Remove. This has been a blast to play. It's I don't know. It's like a nice release from from the anxiety and problems of work. Now we can't get this from here, so now we're gonna have to put it in the air, go underneath, and take it out. Let's go ahead. Why? What actually? How much are we? Let's back out of this. How much are we getting paid? 3,000. Okay. How much is a steering rack in this game? Let's see. Go power steering rack. 1,500. Wow. Alright, so we're going to make 1,500 off of this job. Back underneath. Now let's remove the power steering rack. It just kind of floats there. Biggie. Let's go to assembly mode. Now we're going to install the new one. Now we have to get back out from underneath. Let's sell some of this stuff. Ooh, $44. It's not even a catalytic converter. This bad part here. Okay. Let's put the car back on the ground. Let's start working. Nope, no. Inner tie rod. There we go. Outer tie rod. Bolts in. Put the wheel on. The lugs on. There we go. Wrong button. Off to the other side. Ah, where is it? There it is. Getting a little flustered. Okay. I thoroughly enjoy cars. I would like to do, like a race mechanic. Someone who does that. I'm trying to work on some scenarios that put me in that type of situation. Alright, should be finished now. Show repair order. Now in reality, you would fix the parts that you were pretty sure were the broken parts, and then you would do, right in step number 3 would be verify repair, which is where you would test drive it again to see if your repair fixed it. They don't worry about that. Too many test drives, and that whole aspect of it would get pretty boring if it went that way. But here we go. I was driving on fumes, and I think I've overheated my fuel pump. Can you replace it? Alright, man. Now here's a fun job. Okay, $600. Fuel pump. Fuel pump is inside. I don't think we can. No. I doubt it gets that. A lot of cars like this have the fuel pump is on the top of the tank, but there's a spot inside. Let's get rid of some of the body here. The fuel tank is here in the back, and a lot of times the fuel pump is on top. It kind of goes into the tank. A lot of cars like this have a back seat that removes, and then there's a panel that lets you get to the pump, and you don't have to actually drop the tank. But I'm wondering if we actually have to. Let's see. Something's got to come out first. No. Can I remove the fuel tank? Lets me inspect it. Oh, I just do it this way. Well, that's... okay. That's weird. There's not two... This has 2 screws going into it, but if you see this ring around it, the way that works is that ring is actually like a giant nut that unscrews from the tank that holds the fuel pump inside. But it looks like that's part of the unit, so 2 screws. Alright, we'll pop it out. It's a pretty simple job then. Good lord. It's almost easier than doing it in a real car. Okay, so we're looking for a fuel pump. I don't think we can repair it. Nope. No repairable parts in the inventory. Okay. So we'll go buy a brand new one. So I'm not going to cheat the customer with used parts. Fuel the pump. 320, so we're going to make 280 off of this job. Assuming I don't break something else in the process, which is a possibility. Now we need to swing and pan up. Well, I guess I'm never going to have to remove the fuel tank, because it doesn't give me that option. Alright, let's put the fuel pump. Ooh. Slow down there. Some of it gets a little aggravating. There we go. Put the 2 unnecessary screws back in. And we're good to go. That was a pretty simple job there. Quite a few fuel pumps. Let's check our RO. Replace fuel pump. Repaired. Next RO, please. We'll make this the last one. Coming up on time to call it an episode. Alright. I lit my... This is how a lot of real ROs start. I lent my wife the car for a few days and the gearbox has given up. Could you replace it, please? $2,500. Okay. Ooh, this is a nice 4-door sedan styled car. It is a Revton Wind. Nice. This looks like an infinity symbol. Alright, so we've replaced the gearbox before, or taken it out to replace the clutch inside, so we know what we're doing here. We're getting paid, I think it was $2,500? Oh, man. See, there I go, missing the main parts. Oh, look at this. Chrome wheels. Nice. Fancy. Fancy chrome wheels. Not a big fan of chrome wheels, actually. It looked like I had... like it was a black wheel. Remove that. Not sure why it zooms us over there and then knowing we have to go back out here for that. Take that off. No, yeah. It's like chrome with some black accents on it. These are really nice wheels, actually. This is an interesting view. These are lug bolts. Most people will know that usually your hub has splines that come out, studs that lug nuts will spline onto, and that holds your wheel on. With a lot of German cars, like Volkswagens and BMWs, Mercedes, they use lug bolts. So the lug bolt goes through the wheel into the hub, which goes through the... well, I can't take it off yet, but it goes through this into the hub, the rotor. And that... let me pop this axle out real quick while I'm talking. And that's what holds the wheel on. So... alright, gonna go back to the front, take this out. It's one of those different things from traditional American cars. Alright, we will take this transmission out. And let's go find a new... well, I don't think I can repair it, can I? Oh, I can repair the gearbox. $712, and I think we're getting paid $2,500. Nice. Oh, gosh. I was like, where did I leave a starter at? Alright. So, we'll go to reassembly mode. Gearbox back on. This was a nice paint job now that we could repair it. That's another thing you don't get a lot in dealerships is... used to, when you had a transmission issue, you would have, at the dealership, you would normally have a transmission guy. He did all kinds of work, but whenever a transmission issue came in, he was the guy to go to. Because transmissions, and more specifically automatic transmissions, which is what a lot of people use now, are very, very complex and difficult to do anything with. So that was the guy that really knew what he was doing with the transmissions, and he could take one apart and put it back together and replace any internal parts that were messed up. Well, now when you get to the dealership level, it takes so much time to rebuild a transmission just because of the high level of detail involved that it's cheaper to replace the entire unit and buy a brand new transmission than it is to pay someone the hours and time and getting all the interior parts of the transmission to put it back together. So most dealerships now, if you come in and have a problem with your transmission, there's no, we can rebuild it and it'll take this long. Now it's just, you need a new transmission. There are fault codes or trouble codes, DTCs, in cars now, diagnostic trouble codes, that's what DTC stands for, that alert you to different things in the car, because everything now has a module associated with it, and it's related to the car's computer system. The newer Volkswagens can tell you if a light is out, like a headlight or a tail light or a tag light, and it can let you know what it is. So you'll get in the car and the display will say right, left, or not right, left, rear left tag light out. You have to go to the back and that tag light right there would be out. So that's one of the things. But they have codes that let you know if the transmission is slipping without you even having to test drive it. And for us, at the dealership level, if you see that code, automatically needs a new transmission. Because it's something internal is slipping, the clutches are slipping, and it's so much cheaper to replace the unit than to repair. So, yeah, alright. So we'll finish up this repair order, find out what the next one is, and then we'll call it an episode. A little insight into the dealership world there for you. If that's something you're interested in, if you want to be a mechanic or something, if you want to work on cars, it's definitely something that I enjoy and like doing, and that's why I got into it. Change oil filter and change the oil. See, this is what I was wondering, if I actually had to drain the oil. Apparently I do. So we'll see how that goes in our next episode. In the meantime, thanks for watching.